Good evening. Right, so this evening I'm going to be making some banana and chocolate chip muffins. So what we've found over the last few days is we've not been eating the bananas that we need. So we have a variety of different colours of bananas. So we've got probably how you'd still eat it, slightly overripe and very much overripe. This one's going to be perfect to go into a cake or to make bread. So obviously before we start baking we need to go through a few hygiene things with you. You'll notice I've got an apron on, clean organised work surfaces which have already been cleaned, and I need to wash my hands. So I'm going to wash my hands first of all. Just be aware that if you are coughing or sneezing or you've got any sort of illnesses that you shouldn't be baking or cooking at the moment, and if you've got long hair then you need to be tying it back as well. So just going to wash my hands first of all. Making sure we always do wrists, in between fingers and around the thumbs as well. Giving that a good 20 seconds of cleaning. Right, so as you can see I've got my ingredients on a tray. That is just to help with organisation and keep a clean work surface and working area. My ingredients have already been measured out, they are all here. So I'm going to move my scales and ingredients to one side and just keep the bananas and the milk, which I will be needing later on. So first thing to do is preheat the oven. For today's recipe it is 190 or gas mark 5 for the baking. Preparation before we start, you should get yourself a muffin tin and fill it with the muffin cases, ready to add the mixture to at the end. So in my mixing bowl, I am going to add my bananas and I'm going to use a potato masher to get those bananas all mashed up. Obviously, as I said, varying different qualities of banana with regards to how ripe they are. This one is extremely soft, which will be really, really easy to mash. This one's probably the best quality for regards to baking, and the other one maybe a little bit more difficult to mash. So traditional potato masher and a little bit of elbow grease just to get that mashed together. So once it's all mashed, which should only take 30 seconds or so, that is ready. I'll come back to that in a second. We need to get the butter on melting, keeping an eye on that as we're going to be adding it with the butter as a liquid. So I'm going to keep mashing this. Once the butter is melted, you can hear mine sizzling away as I've already heated my pan up just to get a little bit of speed going. Do keep an eye on your butter. It is a hot fat, turns into a liquid. So as I always do, put your pan handle in, keep the pan at the front so that you have got that safety, you've got the control of it, but always make sure that pan handle is tucked in. Keep it on a medium heat so that the butter doesn't burn. That will affect the colour. If you do burn butter, it goes quite brown. So bananas are now mashed, butter is almost melted. So in with the butter is going to go the sugar and the egg, and then we're putting them into the bowl here. So butter is now melted. Pour that around so we can add the sugar into here, and we can add the egg into here. That is going in together, and then we are going to add in this melted butter. Pour the melted butter in, and then we are going to start to mix. You can mix with the potato masher, or you can now go in with a spoon, okay, so that this gets a nice mixture. Turn off the oven, and then we're going to get this sorted. So this now has got all of the wet ingredients in, and we are going to add in the flour. So the flour is going to be sieved. That's going to add some air in between the flour particles, and it's also going to get rid of any lumps. I've got 200 grams of flour today, so that's why there's 2 bowls we won't fit in. Once the flour is all sieved, we are using plain flour, so what I'm adding in as well is baking powder and bicarbonate of soda today to help to get the cakes to rise. These are pre-measured, these are perfect, just for like a teaspoon of each. Adding those in, stirring all the way around, and then just to help with a little bit creating steam, we're adding in 2 tablespoons of milk to the mixture. Obviously, if I'm going to add chocolate chips in a second. If you haven't got chocolate chips, you can't get hold of them, you can just simply crush up a bar of chocolate, just put that into chunks. I've got milk chocolate chips, but you can use white chocolate, you can use dark chocolate instead. So I'm just folding the flour in. You don't want to over stir this at this point because you're going to knock out all the air that you have trapped into there. You just want to combine it until all the flour has disappeared. So it's quite a lumpy mixture. We're going to add in the chocolate chips, give that a stir around, quick combine, and then we are now ready to fill in our muffin cases. So moving some of my bowls out of the way, a little bit of organisation, we can then bring the muffin tin over. Put in the milk, and using just a normal dessert spoon, a lot easier, less clumsy than using your large mixing spoon. And what I'm going to do is fill the dessert spoon with the mixture. Use your larger spoon just to knock off any excess, and you're probably putting 2 spoonfuls in each muffin case, going all the way down. You can use the larger spoon, or if you've washed your hands thoroughly, obviously you can use your finger. But if you overfill the muffin case, the only problem is that obviously it will overflow as it rises a little bit higher than the muffin case, and it just makes a mess of your tin, and it affects the quality of the muffin overall. So I'm going to carry on now doing all of this, and then I'm going to use my oven gloves and I'm going to pop this into the oven. It takes approximately 15 to 20 minutes for these to bake. Once they're baked, they will be risen and golden, and if you want to go with the testing method with the skewer or a sharp knife, the knife should come out clean. So I'll come back when these are completed. Okay, so once these are baked, I'll show you what the finished product looks like. Thank you. So as you can see, I decided to let you see what this looked like before I put it in the oven, so you could see the amount that I've added. So as I said earlier, not overfilled so that it doesn't overflow. It's about 2/3 full of mixture, all quite even, so a little bit of consistency helps with your quality control, so all of your products look the same when you are baking, not just for enjoyment, but obviously if you want to impress family members, trying to keep the ingredients all as equal quantities, that will help the overall bake. So what I'm going to do now is oven glove on. Obviously, as I've already said in previous videos, I only have one oven glove presently, but this is what we're going to do. So now I'm going to put it into the oven and we'll see you at the end. Right, so time has come to take them out of the oven. The banana and chocolate chip muffins are well risen and golden. So just share that with you. So here we go. Lovely risen muffins. So all you're going to do, obviously when they are cool, is to take them out of the muffin tin. Obviously I'm going to be very careful just to show you a couple of them. Obviously you can put them up on here so that you can share them with family if it's on a plate, but just whilst they are cooling down, to avoid that soggy bottom, is if you put them on the cooling rack, you're getting the airflow underneath as well as on top, which means they'll cool evenly and you won't get that condensation underneath. So have a look below the video for your ingredients for this recipe, and any of those overripe bananas now can be used to make delicious cakes rather than throwing them away and wasting them. Thank you.